Dragon Ball Legends has introduced tons and tons of terrible mechanics throughout the years it has existed. I mean, just look at some of the PvE situations they've done with adjusting AI and USTR. But something that stands on top of them all, that's been more recently introduced than not, and it's actually returned now in this pre-anniversary situation that we are in, is Raiding Match Proud. It is now Season 2, and no one liked this on initial release, and it was forced in, ranked PvP of this is the only way, this is the season, you have to play this, or don't play at all if you want to get, decent RP, get CC, etc. The main reason you'd ever play the game at all, because you're trying to get CC, you're trying to, stack up for the next big celebration for your liking. And they introduced this mode being one of the worst things. They're now forcing it to be coming back as a preseason 2 because they clearly still have quirks. It's been a preseason because of how bad it is, and they still don't know how to really adjust it perfectly. And funny enough, you will actually see the RP discrepancy you gain in Raiding Match Proud versus normal PvP, and how they're really trying to make you play this mode and enjoy it, because you would have an easier time at getting higher rank by playing Raiding Match Proud over normal PvP. Raiding Match Proud is the worst PvP introduced thing in Dragon Ball Legends, and here's why. Now, on paper, you might see Raiding Match Proud and think, okay, this is actually a good thing. Instead of this kind of overwhelming, here is the Zenkai buff on Zenkai buff setups that you're going to run into in the standard PvP, you're going to run into a situation where you're going to face all 6 characters throughout your entire process of PvP. It's terribly implemented. For one, the time it takes to do a full set of Raiding Match Proud, it is going to be 3 matches at peak. Now, you might say, oh, just do 2. Let me tell you a little thing that's funny about doing 2 matches. Let's say I win the first, the opponent wins the second, then they or I decide not to do the third. Do you know what happens at that point? You draw. Do you know what happens when you draw? You get 0 points. But not just one, by the way. Not just one player. Not just that player or me. We both get 0 points. So we could have a situation where the first match is 6 minutes long, the second match is 5 minutes long, and then this person left and skedaddled after that second match, or I skedaddled after that second match. We both get 0 points. 2 for 1. A huge time waster. What can you do? Well, you cannot implement a mode that would waste such time. That's pretty stupid. Again, the concept on paper is actually smart, because you're looking at the Zenkai buff situation of where PvP is. You look at red, green. What was that? Super 17, Gohan, Rev Cell. And it was just juicing the team. So, what you could theoretically do in a Raiding Match Proud sequence is the first match, you can win with red, green. Second match, you just throw it, because you have the Zenkai setup. You don't have a good team on that, off meta, off kind of 3-unit situation. And then the third match, boom, you run everything that you ran the first match, just swap that, one red unit for the other red unit, because, you can't run the same exact trio every time. Cool, great, but that's exactly the thing. If I want to throw the first match, or rather, throw the second match, I guess. You could throw the first or second match, doesn't matter. You want to throw one of the first 2 matches to run your juice setup that you've been running, you're still allowed to do that. Again, the whole thing is that if they leave after the second match, you're going to get 0 points regardless, or you'll get very minimal. I think it was like +4 or +3 at its peak of preseason 1 at some point. But the thing is, they're going to leave after the second match regardless, so it's either going to get +0, or they're going to leave after the first match, and you'll get, just normal rating point matches for 1 match, which that doesn't mean anything, because that's what normal PvP is anyways. Or you'd play to that third match, and then you'd win that third match. Great! You played 15 minutes long, and then you got RP for 2 PvP matches. The thing is now, because that sounds all good and fun in its, baseline on-paper reading, why do I want to face the same person 3 times? I don't ever want to face the same person 3 times. If I have a match where it's laggy as hell, and then they won because it's laggy as hell, so I don't want to leave it, right? I don't want to leave this Battle of Pride thing, and then, oh, well, they just got all the free points. But I don't want to, like, play the second match. Well, I either have to play against the laggy match again to maybe force a draw and then leave after that, which would be a time waster on both ends, or I just accept defeat of that first match that was laggy as hell and then go to that second situation of, okay, I'm gone, you have my points. So you're forced more so, at least you're amplified the idea of facing against the same silly, I guess you could say, situation of the matchup that you're in, and then on top of that, if you do play it and you do win it, then you want to leave after because of the X issue, Y issue, because this game does have a lot of issues on just connection-based things. Maybe it's not even your own connection. Sometimes the game just has bad connection. You could be 5 feet away from each other. This game could just disconnect on you. It's a thing that happens. And then you both just waste 10 minutes because the game had bad connection and you both don't gain any points. I don't know how they could implement this with thinking, yep, both could be neutral and then both can waste 10 to 15 minutes on 2 matches, and well, that's a good thing. I don't I don't understand where that is conceptualized from. It's a terrible conceptualization. That's the problem. To more so almost double down on what I was just previously saying, it's also the fact that you're forced to run 6 characters. There's not many rosters in Dragon Ball Legends that has 6 full good unit characters on a specific setting of a tag or a category kind of thing of like Saiyan Saga or movies, Dragon Ball. There isn't a thing that really exists. Let me try and name them off. Saiyan Saga is getting to 6 units, or maybe it has, I guess, 5, so that's cool. GT has probably 5 or 6 good units. That's cool. Hybrids is probably okay enough. I could even reps, I guess. Like, I'm naming 4 tags here. There's not much going on in the department of, yeah, and by the way, this is me just naming, like, okay, like, bare minimum okay tags here. There's not enough teams. There's not enough anything they have done in the prerequisite department that's like, yeah, you have enough valid situations, because they're trying to force, like, these 6-man rosters. Saiyan Saga's getting 6 units, okay? GT got 6 units, okay? They're trying to get to that area. But the thing is, we aren't there yet. So while they're trying to force this PvP situation of these last few campaigns and kind of get around that, premise of, we're giving you these rosters, use these rosters we're giving you, good. That's good to, like, we do this, and then this is why. That's good. But that takes years. Like, minimum. Especially with how slow they release new actual, like, good enough units. Because some of these units really aren't good enough, despite them being new units. Look at, the newest Goku. Of that, Yamcha banner as well. Yamcha's okay enough, but that Goku is pretty fucking bad. Especially because pre-ally death, he gets, like, nothing, which I don't even know. What the hell? Like, I don't know what they were thinking, but, they had to release a Goku, so it couldn't be a good Goku because it's pre-anniversary, and then the good Goku is going to be during anniversary. It makes sense. Of course. But they introduced this concept, and it's a smart concept to get on paper. These things are really smart on paper. You introduce a best of 3 if people want to sit through. By the way, yes, them and now introducing where you can play PvP normal or this proud battle situation is what should have been the case in the first place. Why would you ever force down your player's throat? Play this shit now or get the fuck out. That's what they did. Why would you alienate your player base to such an extent? It is such a moronic idea. Like, they do some of these LBRs, right? And it's like, the less side steps you do, right? The less inputs, which is funny because they introduced the chunks training, which is literally telling you how to do these things. The less side steps you do, the more damage you do. Or, like, your arts boost affects PvP like 60 times more in these specific LBRs. And these are terrible decisions. Like, these are fucking stupid as shit. But they're not alienated. You're not like, you gotta play this. You can't play PvP until you play these 10 LBR matches you have for that campaign or for that monthly session. No. But with Proud Battle, they said, you get in there and you fucking enjoy this shit. You don't enjoy it? Well, who cares about that? It'll be gone. It's back. But it'll be gone again. And it's just shit. Oh, man. It is hilarious. Again, conceptually, these are good things. These really are. Like, they really aren't the worst things. At least the things they're trying to force aren't the worst things. Again, this LBR shit that I see is just is goofy as hell. But Proud Battle, there is a lot of tweaks to be had with that mode. I don't even know where they could even start. Like, I couldn't imagine what they would do to make Proud Battle be something more wanted than normal PvP. It's been 6 years almost of just normal PvP. You just queue up with your team, and that's it. You bring 3 units. You are not trying to build for 6 units, because the game is catered around the premise of you bring 3, you Zenkai buff this main 1 or 2, you have a support, you have something around there, and then go in and do your thing. The game's been centered around that since Zenkai buffs, since the leader slot, and those have been a thing, Zenkai buffs, for multiple years. So how would you introduce Proud Battle, which is meant to dissuade this, which is smart. Again, conceptually, these are good ideas. It's meant to dissuade this, but you don't actually give incentive to dissuading. I mean, again, you let me queue into matches, 2 matches, they win 1, I win 1. Guess what happens if they leave? Nobody gained anything. Is that supposed to be like my incentive to play it more? I'm not saying, you have to give like infinite CC from it, but fucking let me gain points at some goddamn rate. I've seen that so much when I did play in that preseason one, and it was just, why was I playing it? Why were we even playing that mode? It wasn't even like finished. It was just added, just like, now play this shit. It just didn't make any sense. Overall, Proud Battle PvP does have at least some quirks that are finite enough to make it differential and, unique in its own sense. But unfortunately, we have hit many walls so far, and it's kind of impressive. We hit so many walls, with it only being preseason 2, where there just is not any incentive. There is not any baseline foundation. There's not even any, enough building of what the core game is around Proud Battle to where you would ever want to play. You see a lot of players be like, gasp, Proud Battle's back. Oh no, I need to get the hell out of here. And I don't want to play that at all. And it's valid, because what the gameplay is about, what you've been doing is, okay, even if you don't want to play against it, it's just what the game is doing to itself and has done. Maybe it's going a different direction in some sequences, though they literally dropped Golden Frieza, and, the Golden Frieza's thing is just Zenkai buff them to hell, so maybe not. They've kind of hit themselves into a wall with what you're meant to be team building wise, but exactly that. The team building is Zenkai buff this guy to an amplified extent to make him God, because these damage numbers are these damage things, and these kits are ridiculous. So why would you ever, in any sequence, why would you ever feel the need to, I don't want to amplify a unit? No. Who? Me? Silly guy? Nah, let me just run a 6-man roster where everyone is more inferior to they were prior, and then from there, struggle. No one wants to struggle, right? People just want to fucking win. They just want to fucking go in and win. So you might not want to face this, situation of these amplified units, and that's a valid thing. But they haven't done enough from Proud Battle to dissuade that amplification, because you'll see it in Proud Battle, and then once you get out of Proud Battle, you'll see it even more. But that's because it's the best. They won't change what the best is. They kinda can't, to some extent, because they have added so many Zenkai buffs. They've added so many situations of, okay, here's a new Goku so he can get 5x because he's a purple Saiyan. And then he's the best unit in the game. And then that happens during anniversary. Where does Proud Battle fit into this? Where it's like, yup, I gotta play that because I can't deal with these Zenkai buff Gokus. Though I'm gonna be using my own, I just can't deal with them. There's not an incentive, because then you play for 10 minutes, then you match them against somebody, they win one, I win one, then they leave, and then it's a fucking +0 for both. And it's a waste of time. No PvP, guess what's gonna happen? You're gonna get your +30, 40 because you won, you're gonna play other matches, you're gonna get +30, 40 because you won, or you're gonna lose like 35, but hey, at least something's happening, you know? You're not just standing there hoping for them not to leave. Why do I have to hope for that in a situation? It just doesn't make any sense. Hopefully they iron out the quirks of Proud Battle, because again, conceptually these are not terrible things they have added to PvP. It's just it will genuinely take years for Proud Battle to be a thing people would want to play because of how they've set up everything to this point now, of what Zenkai buffs are, of what leader slot is, of what team building is, and of what the best rosters are. Nothing fits in that mold of Proud Battle. Nothing really ever would fit in that mold of Proud Battle until we are 15 to 10 more campaigns down the road, and a lot of rosters actually work, compared to where it's 3-man rosters. We don't have many 6-man rosters, but we have a little bit. We need more than this 4 to 5 we have. Once we get there, maybe it'll be more, desired, but for now, this shit is a stain on Dragon Ball Legends. It is gross, nasty, and, well, kind of silly at this rate. Very much added way too early. Have a nice think. I'll see you guys in the next one.